What is the difference between a legal verdict and a judgment? Imagine sitting in a courtroom, waiting for the final decision that will settle a dispute. You might hear the terms verdict and judgment thrown around, but what do they really mean? Let's break it down so you can understand the difference clearly. A verdict is the decision made by a jury or sometimes a judge at the end of a trial. It answers the key question of the case, like whether someone is guilty or not guilty in a criminal case, or in a civil case whether a party is liable or not liable. The verdict focuses on the facts, what actually happened, and is based on the evidence presented during the trial. For example, if a jury finds a defendant guilty of theft, that is the verdict. It's the jury's formal answer to the factual question of guilt or liability. Now, a judgment is a formal order issued by the judge or court after the verdict. It's the official decision that wraps up the case legally. The judgment includes the verdict but also covers the legal consequences. It might order the defendant to pay damages, impose penalties, or issue an injunction. The judgment is what makes the verdict enforceable in the real world. For instance, if the verdict finds someone liable for breach of contract, the judgment will specify how much money they owe or what actions they must take. There are different types of judgments. A default judgment happens when a defendant does not respond to a claim and the court rules in favor of the plaintiff. A declaratory judgment clarifies the rights of each party without awarding damages. A summary judgment is issued when there are no real facts in dispute, so the case ends early. Sometimes a judge might issue a judgment notwithstanding the verdict, which means they disagree with the jury's decision because it isn't supported by the evidence or law. In sports and entertainment legal cases, understanding this difference is important. The jury might decide that a party is liable, but the judge's judgment will determine the actual damages or remedies. The judgment also sets the timeline for appeals or enforcement actions, which can change how the case plays out. So, to sum it up, the verdict is the jury's factual decision about guilt or liability. The judgment is the court's final legal ruling that enforces or resolves those facts. Both are essential parts of the legal process, but they serve different purposes in closing a case.